name is Kelly McEvers. I was one of the keynote speakers here at the conference. I'm a Middle East correspondent for National Public Radio. I'm based in Beirut, Lebanon. I like to say that I covered the Arab uprisings that failed, right? So these are uprisings where people took to the streets by the tens, maybe hundreds of thousands, but the government, nothing changed. You know, the dictators didn't step down in Bahrain and Syria. So what happened in the meantime? Well, horrible crackdowns where governments would shoot at, detain, torture, beat protesters by the thousands. So in order to cover something like that as a journalist, you are viewed as a hostile actor. The government does not want you there, doesn't want you telling the story of these protesters. So in those early days, a lot of times I was basically sneaking into countries and posing as just a regular tourist or business person who was just happened to come to the country. What did it mean? It meant that I couldn't even bring my equipment. I went with only an iPhone. I did all of my recording of my interviews, of my voice on an iPhone. I was using software to encrypt my behavior in my hotel rooms. I was speaking to people only by Skype, not on the telephone. I was doing things like, you know, getting in a cab into one place and getting out and then getting in another cab to another place to make sure I wasn't followed. It's funny, I think there's a lot of people who are in this business are the kind of people who aren't naturally, you know, frightened by stuff like that. I think you probably wouldn't do this job if you had the scare gene. And call it adrenaline, call it what you will. You actually become more clear-headed. You're able to sort of see and notice and smell things in a way that you don't under normal circumstances. So in some ways you become more aware. You might become more aware of the dangers, but it's not fear so much as it is an alertness. And you're watching everything and you're paying very close attention. In some ways that's kind of fun.